Today I want to talk about doing challenging things, doing things that are difficult, doing things that get you out of your comfort zone. It's human nature. We are conditioned to go through the path of least resistance, and that is to everybody. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Nobody wants to do something innately within them that makes them uncomfortable internally. Like you almost have to brainwash yourself to do things that are difficult on a day-to-day basis. I don't care what anybody is. I don't even if it's enjoyable for sometimes it's gonna suck. You're not gonna want to do it. Because as humans, our emotions fluctuate. Our will is not always gonna be here. No, like this, willpower. But that's where discipline comes in. That's where the discipline to become better comes in. That's where the discipline to learn more. That's where the discipline to run more, to run faster, to lift heavier, to lift more consistently, to rest better, to eat better. There is nothing wrong with you that you don't want to do the hard task. If anything, that makes you the most humane. That makes you the most human. No person that achieved anything that is meaningful got it in an easy way. It might not necessarily always be physical. And I want you to get this idea out of your head. The hard work only means physical. No, it's not. Hard work, physical labor is physical labor. But hard work encompasses so much more than just the physical attributes that you have. Sometimes the hardest work that we have to do is in here, in your mind. When I tell you, you don't understand how hard unlearning behavior is. You don't understand how difficult it is to train yourself to think against something that you've been trained to think all your life. Or you grew up all your life thinking a certain way and you got to a point where you know that you were identifying with a limited mindset, with a limited belief system. And trying to flip that around has been the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life. It's because in the beginning, you almost have to lie to yourself because you are not going to believe it. You are not going to believe some of the things that you are reading. You're not going to believe some of the things that you are hearing. You're not going to believe some of the things that you are saying to yourself. But because it sounds so bizarre. Imagine growing up the way I grew up. You were born and raised in a village. You had no electricity. You had no running water. Like you was a farmer for 15 years of your life. Imagine growing up with that mentality and just accepting reality as it is. And now getting put into a whole new environment where you're just like, wow, there are actually different possibilities. Not only did I have to go against people's belief system, but I also had to go against my own belief system. That was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life. And it's still a journey. It's still something that I'm having to remind myself. It never gets to a point where you can just coast. No, self-development is an everlasting thing because as humans, you always want to become better. And this doesn't mean I have to, I gotta achieve that, no, sometimes it's just becoming better every single day. Reading more, educating myself more, giving more. As long as you live in this life, there's always something that you can become better at. Because like I said, as humans, we are inclined to go towards the path of least resistance. But I'm here to let you know that you owe it to yourself to do that difficult task. That difficult task to some of you guys might be forgiving somebody. For some of you guys, it's forgiving yourself. That difficult task to some people is learning to set boundaries. That difficult task to some people is learning to go to the gym and being consistent. It's not eating the food that they've been eating all their life that is getting them sick. So difficulty is not something that is the same for everybody. It's tailor-made to each and every single person. To some people, eating healthy is the most difficult thing that they can do in their life. To me, eating healthy is a privilege. To me, eating healthy is something that I get to do. It's something that I am grateful for. It's something that I cannot wait to do. It's something that I look forward to each and every single day. To some people, running is their greatest form of pleasure. But to some, running is almost comparable to death. But you have to look deep within yourself and identify what level of difficulty do I need to be facing? What task am I putting forth for tomorrow and day after tomorrow and day after that? What grudge am I holding that's making my heart bitter, even though this person is no longer in my life? Level of difficulties differ from person to person. You will never lose from taking the difficult route because inevitably everything in life is an option. You're gonna get choices, you're gonna get different choices. One choice is gonna be easier and it's gonna be more satisfactory in the short run. Other is gonna be difficult. And sometimes it's gonna take years for you to be able to reap the benefit that came from you performing that difficult task, especially if it's something that is consistent. So you can choose the path of instant gratification or you can choose the path of delayed gratification, but knowing that your life will be so much better off with you doing the things that you're doing right at it. For example, many people have a choice. When they get up from work, you can either grab your remote and turn on your Netflix, or you can get to work and tie up your shoes and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym. Sitting home and watching Netflix is a lot more pleasurable or a lot more enjoyable to a lot of people. But going to the gym is something that you're not gonna see. A lot of people actually do see a result within a week. But for some people, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take sometimes a couple of months, 6 months, a year, 2 years for you to be able to see the results that's been compounding with you going to the gym over and over again. So it's easy for you to get discouraged. It's easy for you to feel like, wow, like, why am I having to do this? Why do I want to? So just understand, life is about choices. Make the choices that's not gonna just make you feel good in the moment, but it's gonna make your life so much better. It's gonna make your life so much more worthy. It's gonna make you feel so much more proud of yourself. It's gonna build that person that you wanna be, that 2.0 version of yourself. So many of us are just content with just being just the person that we were from high school. We still identifying with the same ideas, with the same belief system. We still haven't challenged the status quo. No, get into the habit of doing things that are difficult. Get into the habit of doing things get into the habit of doing things that make you question, that make you look deep within yourself. Like, yo, can I actually do this? And you still do it anyways. For example, like maybe 2-3 days ago, I ran 12 miles while fasting for Ramadan. 12 miles while fasting for Ramadan. Some people, when they fast during Ramadan, it's like they feel like they're carrying the world in their head. To some people, they can't even fathom the idea of even running a mile, let alone 12 miles. But to me, it's not to say it's not difficult to me. It's difficult. It wasn't the easiest, but I knew that I was harnessing that willpower. I was putting my discipline to work, challenging the status quo. I was going against the grain. I was going against what everybody else think is possible. And identifying with this mindset, with this ideology, you go through life on a whole different scale. People's difficulties and people's limiting beliefs are no longer even something that you even consider. Since graduating from college, I did not get a job. I haven't been homeless. I haven't had to ask my parents for money. And to many people, that is the craziest thing you can possibly think of. You have a bachelor's degree and you're not even using it. But to me, going about life, making my own decisions was about me going against the status quo, going against the grain. Has it been difficult? Yes. There were some times that I did not know where my rent was going to be paid from. Did I struggle? Did I feel alone throughout the journey? Of course I did. But it's also through that I understand that God is always going to be there for me. I don't have to worry. God is always going to provide for me. God is always going to, I live in a state of abundance. I live in a state of surrender. I live in a state of receiving. I'm no longer afraid of doing the lonely things. I'm no longer afraid of doing the difficult task. And it's not gonna be the most enjoyable. It's not gonna be the most fun thing. It's not gonna be the most popular thing. Sometimes you're gonna look like the party pooper because people wanna go party and you just home, focusing on you, doing you and becoming better, sharpening your skills. But you have to understand that when you are in a place where you are doing the difficult things, you will no longer be able to fit into the circles that you were in because people are so limited in their beliefs. People are so limited in their mindset that you have to sometimes separate yourself in order for you to be able to fully tap into whom you want to be and what you can offer to this world. Don't allow yourself to settle. Don't allow yourself to let the instant gratification stop you from the 2.0 version of yourself. You deserve that person. You deserve those things that 2.0 version has. You deserve the mindset that the 2.0 version of yourself has. Don't go through life thinking that you have to take the easy path every single time. No, it's a trap. You got this. I promise you, you got this. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Stay swaggy.